Digo, voy a limpiaros un momentito. A ver, ¿nos vemos mejor? Sí. ¿Quién viene? Os voy hablando. Este programa de hoy va a ser en 2 idiomas. Tenemos a Fuen, que es bilingüe, bueno, como casi todos nosotros los que estamos organizando ChiTT. Y el programa será mitad, hello darling, mitad en inglés y mitad en español. ¿Qué tal mi outfit? Para que luego no digáis que no hago esfuerzos para veros. Well, let's start the show, okay? We're gonna start in English now. Welcome to ChiTT. I'm your host, Jordan Bath, and today we're gonna talk with this amazing actress. Her name is Fuen Vera. She's a director, she's a writer, she's a producer. We are so excited to have her here. She's a friend of mine, and I'm sure you guys gonna love this interview. Same like yesterday's interview. Can you guys tell me how you felt about Nancy's interview? I really loved it. Voy a empezar un poquito en español. Tenemos a Fuen hoy. Ella es actriz, directora, productora, escritora. Y estamos aquí súper emocionadas de tenerla con nosotros. Es muy buena amiga mía, muy buena amiga de ChiTT. Y nos va a hablar de sus nuevos proyectos, de lo que le gusta, de lo que le motiva. Vamos a empezar en inglés, creo, y luego iremos al español. Fuen, por favor, cuando quieras, conéctate con nosotras y podemos empezar la entrevista. Dejarme deciros un poquito más acerca de ChiTT. Todo empezó por la cuarentena. Sabéis que la locura de estar en la vida normal metidos en casa, vamos a empezar otra vez. Un momento, que no sé qué me pasa hoy. Empiezo. ¿Por qué empezamos ChiTT? ChiTT empezó porque al pensar en la cuarentena, los artistas, músicos, actores, sobre todo, somos uno de los sectores que lo está pasando peor. Hay muchos sectores que lo están pasando mal, pero creativamente hablando. Y espérate que Juan está por aquí. Y pensé que sería una buena oportunidad para tener como una plataforma en la que pudiéramos hablar y intercambiar opiniones y alentarnos y conversar. Chicos, estoy aquí intentando conectar con Fuen, que está por aquí. Si alguno quiere hacerme alguna pregunta antes de que empecemos, estoy esperando a Fuen. Tenemos por aquí, Por aquí la tenemos. A ver, darme un segundito porque tenemos un problema técnico y nos conectamos en un segundo, en 1 minute, ¿ok? Give me 1 minute. Oh, that's it. We have it here. Waiting for Fuen to connect. Let's start in English. I go saying this platform is for.
Hola.
Oh, Fuen is here. Hey.
Lo siento.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have here Fuen Vera. Welcome. How are you?
Hello. I'm good. I'm so sorry because I am in the middle of the countryside and I was getting so anxious because I couldn't log in and I was trying to use my boyfriend's phone and then How are you?
Don't worry. I'm great. I'm so happy to see you and I'm so excited to start the interview. Don't worry because you know how things are. We all new in this whole Instagram live situation. So hold on, because someone is en mi pantalla aparece. Anyway.
Got it. I'm just reallocating this because
me too.
Bloody hell.
But let me tell you, welcome to ChiTT. Thank you so much for accepting my request. And please, let's go straight to the point. let's go straight to the
Yeah.
Who is Fuen Vera?
Well, I'm a performer from Spain. I was born in Murcia, and I've been living in the UK for 5 years now. I moved to the UK to study acting, and I wanted to do physical theatre stuff. Back in Spain, there wasn't enough offer for me. I mean, I didn't find what I wanted, and I wanted to do something in English as well. So I moved to the UK, and I've been living here for 5 years. I graduated a year and a half ago, September 2018. And since graduating, I've had a really good year and a half, actually. I've performed on stage, I've done a few commercials, I've done rehearsed readings, I've done music videos with Keen, the band. And yes, and I've just done 3 short films as well. And I was just about to start rehearsing in a few weeks for a play to be done in London. And I found out I got the role literally before the coronavirus, and I'm sure lots of actors are in the same position where they're like, you got a job, you don't have it anymore. So yes, that's who I am, and I love writing as well. Yes.
Let me tell you, okay, let's start from the beginning, because for me, it's so easy. I could listen to you all day long, and I know I'm cheating a little bit because I know so much about you. But let's start from the beginning. When you were an actress back in Spain, or you started to become you became an actress here in the UK?
I would say I started in the UK because when I was back in Spain, I did economics and I was living in South America as well. I started when I was a kid. I was going through a rough time when I was like 13, 12, 13, 14, and I discovered drama in my school, and I fell in love with it. And then I started doing it for a few years, and it dissipated. I turned 18, and other things are starting to interest me, and I was a bit like, I don't know what to do with my life now. Well, am I supposed to know what I want to do now? And I did economics. I was living in South America as well for a bit, and then I finished economics, and then I was like, no, I need to go back to theatre because I miss it. And in a way, I felt like the bug in there. I was like, I'm just going to give it a try. Why not?
So, okay, so then the actress was born here, but everything, all that fire, all that passion was in you. What like that fire, the passion was in
all the fire
in the past. However, I would like to know what inspires you. Because let me just put it together. As an artist myself, I know I think there is a point when you feel a full artist. You know what I mean? Like something is born in you, something has been cooking for a long time, and suddenly you know that it's there. So what inspires you? What makes you feel that powerful actress that you are?
Yeah, I think it's such a lovely question. I love it because I think inspiration is like a wave. I think they come in waves. For me, they come in waves. Sometimes I'm a bit like, I've been doing the same thing for a few weeks, and at the moment I see something new, or I chat with a friend, or we have this conversation. The moment, like for example, now that we are going through these weird times, I've actually found a lot of good inspirations in small things that maybe when I had a lot of things to do and I was so busy, I wouldn't stop to think about them. And then now, maybe it's because I'm in the middle of the countryside, I kind of, every little thing, and I'm like, let's write about that. The other day, I did a short film with my boyfriend.
Oh, yeah.
And I actually wrote that a few months ago. And I was sat here and I was looking at him writing, and I went, wait a minute, I can see it working here in black and white. And then all of a sudden I saw it. I was like, yes, I see this. Let's try it. And we shot it on the phone, and just these little things that happen during the day. that maybe when you're a lot more busy and you know you got to go to work, then you got to do all these things, send a self-tape, or you've got an audition, or you're waiting on this other one, and you're all the time busy. But now, because I've stopped, all of a sudden all these things have come. But then as well, like going to the theater to see new things, I think that inspires me a lot to create my own stuff. I read something really interesting the other day, and it was when you see really bad art, or when you see really good art, is what inspires you to create something. And I'm like, shit, man, that's so true. Because when you see something really good, you go, whoa, that's amazing. I wanna be as good. I wanna do it, and I wanna do it. I wanna bring something that's unique in me, like what Nancy was saying yesterday, something that's you, that only you can bring to it. Right. But then when you see something that's really like, oops, you go, let's make it better. How can I make it better? How can we? And that inspires a lot sometimes. It gives you a bit of a, ooh, let's see if I can do these. Let's see if, there's so many things out there. And I think times like these that we're going through, everyone have all of a sudden found themselves at home going, what can I do? And then all of a sudden you start doing something and you're like, oh, actually, this is not bad. I drew these amazing thing that I never knew I could. So I think times of reflection also inspire me a lot, and time to go, okay, time off.
And going back to the normal time, let's go back before COVID-19.
Oh, yeah. Before,
because now, I mean, really, now
there was no before. There's only COVID-19.
It feels that way, but we had a reality before the whole COVID-19. And what type of work or jobs would you pick, or you choose them yourself? What type of, for example, me singing, I can do salsa or R&B or any other stuff, but I feel so comfortable with my mixing, with my flamenco influences and stuff. What about you in acting? That happens to you? You kind of tend to divert towards certain
when you see
roles?
Yeah, it's funny. I think I'm in a point like I loved the interview yesterday with Nancy, by the way, and I loved when she was saying that she found what her selling point was after a few years. And because I graduated a year and a half ago, I am now in that moment, in that point in my life where I'm like, actually, you know what? I feel really good playing this kind of women. But this year I've had really good I've been really lucky. I had really good auditions, and even if I didn't get them, I was really inspired by some of the texts. And sometimes just the audition I did before coming here, it's a woman who's really grounded, and she belongs to a guerrilla in Chile. And for some reason I'm finding these texts of women who have a very strong sense of justice really inspiring. Maybe it's because me as a person, I am seeing so many things that are done wrong in the world right now, that I feel that so many times I'm angry about things, and then it kind of affects me on a daily. I'm like, like now, for example, I'm walking, but they shouldn't be doing this. And I feel that I have that within me, like that fire that you say, and I can bring that to these roles that are very feisty. They are very like, but also a bit like, just it's. I think that those kind of texts about women who are independent, who are feisty, who are fighting for something they really, really believe in, I love that. That really inspires me.
And because going back to Nancy's interview, she talked about the difference between methods, right, in terms of acting, how you prepare yourself as an actress or an actor, and for you in the roles that you that you feel more comfortable in, how do you prepare yourself? Because she was talking about these different methods. Sometimes there's certain type of I don't know if I'm quoting 100%, but she can explain to us there's certain actors that can feel the whole role, or the whole. Let me put it together. in terms of, okay, if I'm going to, because I'm very straightforward, you know, I'm very basic. If I have to make a role as a murderer, forever.
All right.
He said that there is a method that you could make the audience feel something, but you don't feel it, something like that. And you know, there's different ways how you prepare yourself, because as you said, all those things are so into Fuen as a human being. How do you translate that into your roles? Is it really Fuen going in there, or you got a way to kind of like separate it, or, you know, I don't know if it makes sense what I'm trying to say.
I feel that is a very interesting question, actually, and I think there is different techniques depending on, obviously, camera and theater are very different.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that sometimes I feel I've been always more of a stage kid, and I don't have that much screen experience. As for example, Nancy's been doing loads of screen lately. And as she said, there is a whole technique behind that. Not only you being honest, but for me, you've got to be as honest as you can. I mean, what's the fucking point otherwise? Because otherwise it's not fun if you're not really there, if you're not really giving your true, whoever you are on the day. Especially, for example, if you're doing a show for 6 months and you're doing that show every night or every like Monday to Friday, that's obviously going to change. You're a different person. How do you bring that honesty every day? There is no way you can escape from the fact that if you're playing a murderer, you're going to have to connect to that darker side of yourself. But you always do it from a place from a safety place, from a safe place. I think that we cannot forget that we are playing, and the moment that it is not a game, and the moment that you use, I mean, we're intelligent, mature human beings. We know when something is affecting us to a level. I mean, some actors have taken those things really far, or so has been said about certain actors. I think that I like taking it a bit far, because I like the danger. I've always liked adrenaline. I've always liked to like put myself really there, really the edge. How far can I take myself without burning myself? It's like
going to the dark side.
Okay, that's it. That's too much. That's okay. I fucked it, and even it might not even help you. But every night should be different.
And do you have any specific exercises that you always do for you to be able to prepare yourself to go to an audition or for that role? Do you have any routine that you do?
Yeah, I love reading scripts very little by little, and if I get something, I read it once the night that I get it, and I just read it. I put make notes about, okay, what's the story about, and an idea of who this person is, who the character that I have to audition for is, or even if I've got the actual play that I'm going to do. Then the next day I read it again, but I start getting deeper and deeper into the text instead of doing the whole thing the first day. Obviously, with auditions, you don't have much time, so sometimes you just have to go. But even if I've got 3 days, I will just read it the first day, because I need to sleep it. I need to sleep on it. If I go, fuck it, yeah, I'm gonna do the whole script like at once, and okay, the beats and what. And sometimes, you know what? The days that I do the least work, and this is really funny, because when I graduated, I was like, oh my god, I've got to do all this analysis, and I've got to have all this imagery, and fuck it. Sometimes for me, sometimes the moments that I kind of forget all the work I've done, I trust that, you know, I can be and just be, and then I go to the audition and I just be, and I am myself. I'm there. Those are the best ones.
Great.
When I forget all the work, and actually sometimes, for example, the audition I did like last week, I did it and it was completely different to what I had rehearsed at home, to what, you know, it came out very playful, very different. And it was like, you know, she belongs to a gang. And I thought, shit, man. And that's what it got me the job. The fact that I wasn't, because it's happened to me in the past where I'm like, okay, this is how I need to play it.
Right.
I'm going to play it like this. I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And then it's like, fuck it. But that's my experience this past year and a half of, and when you don't want a job, you actually get it. It's crazy.
I know, that happens a lot. I mean, I'm reading so many questions, so I think because we have, guys, as we said, we're gonna have 2 interviews in one. So this is the English one, and then we're gonna go to the
cool, yeah.
one. But let me tell you few questions from our audience. One is Marco is saying, how do you study Marco Boston 10? How do you study the context of your plays? It says so around there.
Of my play. So I cannot read the question.
How do you study? I think it's kind of like, as you said, how you prepare yourself for the role. And I think
the context of the play.
Yeah, I think that's what he's saying. Yeah. How do you study the context?
Well, I mean, I think you should always, depending on the time you've got for the audition, or it depends, obviously, if you get the job, you obviously have to actually research. I think research is so important. I've always done research in every audition, especially if it's something that's not just a fantasy thing. If it's an actual woman who belongs to a part of, for example, this woman was part of the Chilean after the earthquakes in Chile, and I had a few, I don't remember how many days I had, but the first day I read it, and then the next day I was already reading about the earthquakes, watching videos about how people were surviving it, about the actual gangs and why they did those things, just to connect with the reality that they live in. And I actually, it changed the way I dressed on the day. I was like, okay, how would I dress if I was going to tell this story exactly how I've prepared, when I was doing, I was like, okay, this monologue, I could be saying it to this person, or it could be done in many different ways. But I opened my wardrobe and I was like, okay, in the context of this woman, what clothes do help me to bring her to life? But I think research, definitely, the context is research, and also imagination. I think imagination is the
key. That leads me to,
and if you feel like, oh my God, I'm not seeing anything, I'm not imagining it, take a few hours off.
Yeah,
because imagination.
Another question in terms of oh, sorry, let me just tell them, guys, we are almost finishing our English version, so please ask any question to Fuen in English. But I wanted to know, that is the same for every role, so you kind of take the same approach, or it's different? For example, this gang girl from Chile, you needed more time, you needed to research her life, or watch movies, or like how do you prepare yourself for different? Is it always the same way, or is different approach?
It's something very good that sometimes what I realize is sometimes I do certain things for certain auditions, and sometimes I do completely different things, because sometimes not everything's going to work every time. I try to keep myself very flexible, because at the beginning I wasn't flexible. I was like, no, these are the steps. Step 1, step 2, step 3. No, fuck that. Sorry, I swear a lot, like all the time.
I know that.
Okay, and basically, for example, what I did is, do I know someone like this? Who do I know that could be this person by the way the text is written? And I try to imagine it. I try to imagine the person, and then I try to, I kind of try different things and see what helps me, because you never know whatever's going to go, actually, that worked. That gave me something new. And use your friends, especially if it's a monologue. I think it's really hard for me to direct myself. And I was struggling a lot. I was like, I don't know if this is working. I need someone to like kind of sit there and be like, nah, or whatever. There was another question there by Marco saying, how you evaluate yourself?
As an actress.
Which is, I'm a bit confused by that question. Do you mean like, what do I think of myself, or how do I know whether I'm doing a good job or not?
Let's find out. I mean, Marco, please specify a little bit. We have Manu. Manu also, while he's telling us what he really wants to, tell us. Let's go to Manu. He's saying, how do you get your inspirations with music and filmmaking? How you get your inspirations in terms of, is it music helps you? Music helps
That
you?
is so great. That is so great. Music is massive. I think music
I
is
would
a
never
massive
tell,
thing.
though. Really?
You know, I've been listening. I've recently seen a TV show called The Leftovers. If anyone hasn't seen it, please see it. And the music, I was just shooting a short film like a week ago. No, a week ago? Liar. Like a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
In February, like end of February, something like that. And I literally stole all the music from The Leftovers for the film.
Wow.
Because it helped. It was, for some reason, you know, it was Max Richter. He's great. And what my boyfriend did was put in every scene a different song. That kind of, every scene had a different song in a way. It was a different moment in their lives. Because I did it with my boyfriend. Funny enough, we both auditioned for it and we both got it.
Really?
Mental. I know, it's mental. We were like, sorry, did you get an email from this guy? And he was like, yeah. Did you get an email? Fuck, no way, you're doing a film together. Yeah.
Really? So before we end this section in English, please, can you tell our audience, I don't know, anything you would like to?
And also adding to the music,
Yes.
for my filming, because I love writing poetry and I've written a few short films and short stories and stuff. I love dreams and David Lynch, so everything that's like, I know it's a bit depressing, but every time it's like about like, every time I think of David Lynch or any of his films, that is a massive thing. I am very attentive of my dreams, and I try to write them almost every day, or try to see what they mean. And I've been reading about all that, so that inspires me a lot. The psyche of human beings and our dreams. So in terms of writing, that is a massive thing for me.
That's beautiful. That's really beautiful. So please, before we, as I was saying, before we end our section in English, anything you want to say? Anything you would like us to know about you?
Are we, sorry, in Spanish, are we gonna do the whole thing again in Spanish? Okay.
We are I'm gonna try my best to give this.
Amazing.
But obviously, you need to also talk about, same things, but in a different approach.
No, I think obviously it's great that we're doing this because I think it's a hard time for a lot of us creative people who all of a sudden found ourselves without, like, our little jobs, our things that keep us alive. And I think that this is amazing that we're doing this and that we can share, inspirations and things that, inspire people, and for me to learn from other artists and creators. Oh, actually, I like that idea. So let's steal ideas from each other, because it's great.
As I said, thank you so much. I'm gonna have you a bit more. To everyone who speaks English and is listening to us, we're gonna put more information about Fuen, her new projects, and we definitely gonna follow you everywhere you go and let people know what you do. So now we're gonna change to our Spanish segment. Let's put it that way.
Ole, ole.
Ya estamos.
¡Hala! ¡Hala, ya se acabó!
Bueno,
El postureo se ha acabado.
Bienvenidos a ChiTT.
Ahora vamos a ver.
Soy vuestro host, soy vuestra presentadora Jordan Bath y tenemos aquí a Fuen Vera.
Hola.
Actriz, directora, productora. ¿Quién eres? Dinos, queremos saber.
¿Quién soy? No tengo ni idea. ¿Quién soy? Bueno, me llamo Fuen. Se me hace rarísimo hablar parezco tonta cuando digo esto. Mi familia se ríe. Dice, hija mía, pues eres de Murcia, no pasa nada.
Rarita.
¿Eh?
Está genial. Que digo que no hablas tanto español, estás más como hablando más inglés. Pero suena, hello, habla genial, español.
Gracias.
Luego tenemos muchas preguntas, pero luego las haré. Dinos, Fuen, ¿quién eres?
Soy de Murcia. Que me están preguntando. Claro, es que cuando voy a mi casa, mi familia es como, hija mía, de verdad, qué tonterías dices. Si eres de Murcia, de verdad, qué tonterías. Yo, hija, ya, pero es que al final la cabeza me va a explotar.
¿Cómo fue tu infancia en Murcia? Cuéntanos un poquito.
¿Cómo fue tu infancia? Nos vamos a poner aquí en plan,
por ejemplo,
en plan psicoanálisis.
No, en serio,
No,
para
fue
mí
la
como...
leche. A mí Murcia me encanta.
yo me he dado cuenta de que mi música es o sea, está influenciada por todas partes de mi infancia, incluso cuando quería que no me llegara, ¿sabes? Entonces, por eso es interesante saber cómo
Sí,
fue
no, desde
esto.
luego.
¿Descubriste en Murcia que querías ser actriz?
Effective Wonder. Yo traigo la huerta y traigo Perú y tú traes tu Guinea y al final eso está como ingrained en nosotros. Entonces no hace falta que lo pienses, como que ya está ahí.
Es natural, es natural.
Sí,
Y
sí.
cuéntame, ¿qué cosas te inspiran? ¿Qué te inspira a escribir? Porque yo sé que escribes muchísimo, sé que tienes, bueno, un montón de cosas escritas, que haces tus pinitos como directora, productora. ¿Qué te inspira?
Bueno, como dije, es verdad que a mí el mundo de los sueños me encanta y me encanta ver películas de, bueno, como dije, de David Lynch, también de Christopher Nolan, pero luego es verdad que siempre intento ver otro tipo de películas que no sean solamente de psychology, del mundo de... pero ese tipo de trabajos es lo que a mí me encanta ver y lo que me inspira. Y luego también mucho la poesía. Cuando leo poesía... que es muy evocative, bueno, García Lorca, claro, que es tan imagery, me encanta, y mucho Leonard Cohen también, me encanta leer Leonard Cohen, pero yo creo que esos son, de hecho yo siempre creo que te lo comenté, que yo siempre que viajo, o sea, como ahora nos hemos venido aquí por el tema del virus, siempre como que me cojo los 4 libros con los que, aunque me los haya leído 80 veces, no puedo estar sin ellos. Y uno de ellos son los poemas de Leonard Cohen, que está el libro, espérate, está tela. Está, vamos, más roto, pero es que me lo llevo conmigo a todas partes. Y cada vez, incluso por la mañana me despierto y digo, mira, hoy en lugar de mirar el móvil, para stay creative, me voy a leer mi poema de lo que sea, pero sobre todo de Leonard Cohen. Y eso me inspira un montón a la hora de... Es muy evocativo, tiene un montón de imágenes y me encanta, la verdad.
Si tú fueras la audiencia, ¿no? O sea, la audiencia perfecta, ¿qué vería en ese teatro? ¿Qué vería la audiencia perfecta para Fuen Vera?
Oh, a mí es que me encanta ir a ver el teatro y cuando voy al teatro me encanta que las cosas que veo me muevan. No sé si eso se puede decir en español. Things that move you, ¿sí, no? Sí. Por ejemplo, fui a ver una obra que se llama Sweat en el centro de Londres. Le voy a preguntar a mi novio What theatre did we watch Sweat at? Was it in Piccadilly?
El
Garrick. El Garrick. Y fue maravilloso. Iba sobre la sociedad americana y sobre los prejuicios y tenían pues todo tipo era muy varied cast, había gente afroamericana, había gente latina y yo creo que eso que también me llamó mucho la atención porque vi latinos. Eso me gustó mucho, fue como y me hizo llorar, realmente sentí como una injusticia dentro de mí y yo creo que cuando voy a ver al teatro me apetece ver cosas que me inspiren a mí a crear cosas y, y que me despierte la imaginación. Ese es el tipo de trabajo que a mí me gustaría hacer. Obra que he hecho o en la que estoy, mira, me has dado esta idea realmente me ha movido. Sí, ese es el tipo de...
Pero el teatro, perdona que te interrumpa, pero por ejemplo, lo que te gusta ver es lo mismo en lo que te gustaría estar, porque por ejemplo, a mí, no es lo mismo lo que me gusta cantar que lo que me gusta escuchar.
Qué curioso. Sí, eso es curioso, fíjate.
¿Tú te sientes así? ¿Es lo mismo que te gusta ver es lo que te gusta interpretar?
Es que en teatro sí. En teatro, cuando he visto obras que he dicho, ¿cómo me hubiese gustado a mí hacer eso? Es sí. En el teatro sí. Luego en cine es diferente, porque hay ciertas cosas que yo sé que, pues, son personajes que me mueven mucho, pero que son personajes que yo digo, uy, eso lo veo yo muy lejos, es muy único a esa persona. Y creo que a lo mejor, pues, no sé, ojalá tenga la oportunidad de hacer personajes así, pero siempre digo, uy, eso yo no creo que nunca vaya a hacer algo así.
Pero nunca digas eso, nunca digas nunca.
No, pero no por bueno o por malo, sino porque a lo mejor es una persona, una mujer totalmente diferente a mí en cuanto a la energía que traen y todo. Entonces en cine es diferente, pero en teatro cada vez que veo cosas que me mueven, digo, me hubiese gustado hacerlo a mí. Desde luego, sí.
¿Y qué estilos de actuación? O sea, ¿qué estilos te mueven? ¿Por dónde te vas?
Mira, a mí, eso es, fuimos a, es que claro, a mí me gusta mucho, no sé nunca si pronuncio bien su nombre, porque es uno de mis actores favoritos, pero Ciarán Hinds, que estuvo en Game of Thrones, sí, Juego de Tronos, perdón, me encanta, porque tiene una presencia, ok, que sale en el escenario y es suyo. Watch out. Yo quiero ser así, porque sobre todo eso, como llevo 1 año y medio en la industria, pues tengo muchas cosas a las que aspirar y tengo muchos actores a los que quiero conocer y hopefully trabajar con ellos, porque... Y luego Michelle Williams me encanta. Hizo Blue Valentines y de hecho trabajé con Michael Gracey, que él dirigió The Greatest Showman y la dirigió a ella. Y yo le estaba mirando a él como diciendo, te puedo tocar porque has trabajado con Michelle Williams. Y luego también, ay, ¿cómo se llama? Bueno, Gina Rowlands me encanta, pero Gina Rowlands es más de los 70, ha hecho un montón de películas con John Cassavetes, una mujer bajo la influencia, me encanta. Pero así de ahora, en cuanto a actrices que me gusten y actores, yo creo que ahora mismo los que me vienen a la cabeza son ellos dos. Y me vendrá a la cabeza el nombre de esta actriz, que me encanta también.
Bueno, acábame esta frase. Fuen Vera es, ante todo y sobre todas las cosas...
Actriz.
¿Y eso?
Pero yo creo que está muy bien hacer de todo. Por ejemplo, Nancy también escribe sus cosas de acción, que a ella le encanta la acción. Yo escribo más cosas de psicología, pero yo creo que como creadores tenemos que hacer un poco de todo. No solamente esperar a que te llame la gente. Oye, tienes una audición. Que es una cosa muy inglesa. Bueno, es que como yo no he trabajado en España, me voy a callar.
¿Trabajarías en España?
Pues sí, pero es un poco como lo que dijo Nancy. Tenía el inglés, quería hacer Shakespeare también. En España no me parecía un poco como que como que había mucho muro de muy difícil, no te puede, ay, qué pesado, te lías con que no se puede, que no se puede, que no se puede. Bueno, pero a ver, ¿qué hay fácil en la vida? Yo quiero trabajar con la gente que dice, mira, sí, es difícil, pero échale cojones.
Y hablando
no
de...
con...
Y gente, no, diciendo que, volviendo a lo que me estás diciendo, que es difícil y que...
Sí.
Y que, bueno, vamos con cojones, así que claro. ¿Qué obras has visto y te han marcado? Que dices, sí, esto es, a lo mejor no es la obra más famosa del mundo, pero realmente, chapo. ¿Qué tipo de obra, qué obra dirías tú que te ha marcado?
Yo vi hace un par de años en el Fringe de Edimburgo, que, bueno, el Fringe es una cosa que no hemos hablado, pero yo lo he hecho 2 años con obras de teatro. He ido ahí a Edimburgo a hacerlas. Y de hecho nuestra última obra... ¿Eh? Sí, es el Fringe, es el Festival de Teatro de Edimburgo, es un festival internacional. Y yo lo he hecho 2 años con obras que hemos llevado para allá y es una experiencia increíble porque durante el día estás dando flyers de tu obra, estás actuando y luego por la noche estás reventado y te pones a hacer el show. Pero vi una obra el primer año que fui, que es de Rush Dash, que es una compañía de teatro físico y se llama One Woman Show, Two Woman Show, Two Woman Show, es que lo vi hace muchos años, pero...
Como el show de 2 mujeres.
Sí, el Rush Dash es una maravilla y de alguna manera ellas también incluyen música, tienen una batería, tienen una pianista y entonces hacen música, pero a la vez de repente se ponen a hacer una secuencia física, luego se ponen a hacer un monólogo, luego tienen un diálogo y es todo como, bueno, ¿se puede hacer algo más? Y encima que quede bien, que no sea solamente, bueno, pues vamos a poner un poco de todo porque sabemos hacerlo todo.
Sí, como no era un tipo de cosa que como que han puesto todo aquí por poner, como que todo estaba...
No, todo estaba ahí por una razón, era sobre el patriarcado, sobre la figura del hombre en la sociedad y me encantó. Y yo creo que esa es una de las obras que... Y luego me encantó ver a Asier Echandía en El intérprete, en Murcia. Justo yo volví a Murcia antes de hacer mis audiciones, y yo estaba un poco ahí como que decía, hice una primera audición, tuve que hacer Shakespeare, me salió fatal, me metí en el baño a llorar, fue como, sí, fue...
Lo siento, pero háblame de eso, porque también es importante el hablar de la otra parte.
El lloro.
Como que todo es muy bonito. ¿Qué pasó? ¿Por qué te pusiste a llorar? Cuéntanos.
Shakespeare.
¿Qué pasó?
Shakespeare is hard. Es que me costó, porque claro, yo venía de Murcia. Pues sí, hago un monólogo, pero de repente, claro, yo tenía que hacer Shakespeare, yo no lo había hecho en mi vida, es como si pones un inglés, venga, vamos a hacer un poco de Federico García Lorca, a ver qué tal. Y claro, me metí un castañazo y de... Toma ya el Shakespeare.
¿En inglés bueno, era en inglés?
Claro, en inglés, porque era una audición para las escuelas de arte dramático aquí. Y me salió fatal, y salí y me fui directa al baño a llorar y me metí en el baño y luego me cogió, hay uno de los estudiantes que siempre ayuda en las audiciones, me cogió y me dijo, mira, no te preocupes, no pasa nada, más majo que nada. Pero dije, ¿qué estoy haciendo aquí? Es como que y entonces me fui a Murcia, vi el intérprete y dije, que sí, hombre, que yo me vuelvo.